the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
That's right, folks. Absolutely free. Head over to MyPillow.com. Use promo code Oreo for some substantial savings. Support a patriot in Mike Lindell and a great Made in American product, and it helps us here at this platform here. So if you're go over there at MyPillow.com and look at all this stuff, because I promise there's something you've been eyeing at the store that you can get from MyPillow.com. So go check them out. Thank you all for tuning in. Welcome back, all. Welcome back. I guess you could say live number 3 today. Welcome again, Josh here, Oreo Express. Let me close this up and we'll get into some of the comments here. Oh, wrong comment. There we go. Again, if I can ask you all to please hit that like button. It does a huge service for us at Oreo Express and on the platform. Let me see who's in the chat. We got Susan K. Spencer. I am not the milkman, said interesting presser earlier today in Clovis. What do you think tomorrow will look like at the CIF event? I think, honestly, we'll have a protest out there, but CIF is not going to be fair to the girls. There will be a biological male competing against the girls. I think CIF only has probably an hour to make a decision to change it. I was extremely thrilled that those leaders that spoke stood up for our young female athletes and stood against the insanity, all of them. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Karen Sunflower says, shared three sites. Hi, Josh and everyone. Cade, Texas says, hey, y'all, still working, chasing that OT today. Have a great show. Hey, pretty soon, you're really going to love that OT, right? No taxes on overtime, bud. Thank you, Cade, Texas, for tuning in. Trina in the house. Nancy. Hello, all. Hello, Nancy. Hunter. Who else do we got in here? Kathleen, KLM79, Nola. Let's see. Old Uncle Bill's up in here. Thank you, old Uncle Bill. And Eyes of a Lady made it for a short while. Thank you. And everybody else that's jumping in, thank you so much. Please, once again, hit that like button. And just a heads up, if you missed our last live stream, we were in Clovis. Well, we're in Clovis now at the Oreo studio, but you know what I mean. We were over near the City Hall. We were at the and there was a press conference. It was addressing a male competing against female athletes here starting tomorrow. We will be out there Friday and Saturday. Let me pull this up really quick because I haven't pulled it up yet. But there will be a protest outside. Again, a peaceful protest. We're not going to go inside and harass anybody. We're going to be out at the entrance, covering the entrance and along the corners of Minnewawa Avenue at Nice. We'll be at the northwest corner. Let me pull this up right here. And it's to protect girls' sports. Males don't belong in female sports. Buchanan High School, Clovis, California, Veteran Memorial Stadium, which is the northwest corner of Nice and Minnewawa. And again, that starts tomorrow at 1:30. The reason 1:30 is the gates open at 2. We want to be in there as people are pulling in. And so that everybody sees us, please make a sign that has something to do with protecting girls' sports, saving girls' sports, anything to go of that, because that is what this protest is about. And at the end, I'll pull up some posts. The left has been asked to go to the cult clubs in Fresno and surrounding areas, have been asked to go cheer on the male pretending to be a girl. So we're going to talk about all that and more. And once again, I want to say thank you. Check this out. MSNBC's viewership has dropped 41% in the primetime demographic this month. It's a Daily Mail article. Check that out. 41%. Fresh embarrassment for struggling MSNBC as new lineup leads to disastrous rating drops. Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed? I also heard that Jen Psaki was dropped from her primetime role. And you know what they're airing instead of Jen Psaki? Reruns. I'll be honest, I'd rather watch a rerun than Circle Back Girl any day. So that's over there at MSNBC. Say a prayer for them. How about this? Talking about trans, we're talking about a lot of trans terrorism, a lot of just the horrible things that go along with what we are seeing, an epidemic, if you will, in the United States and in some other countries as well. Transgender Democrat arrested for child sex crimes. Jillian Jonelle Maxner, a male arrested and charged in South Carolina with sexual exploitation of a child, is being covered in the media as, guess what? A woman. Not a woman. It's a perverted man. Police records from his arrest list his gender as female, but the Florida Residence Directory lists the same Jillian as a male, and he is a registered Democrat. Check that out. That looks like a male. Well, it looks kind of weird to me, but looks like a male, I would have to say. Let's see who this is over here. Check that out. Sexual exploitation of a minor, second degree. Bond has been $25,000 bond has been posted, and even right here it says female. That's not what we do here, guys. And again, this is the bookings for this person. We're seeing a lot of this. For being such a small amount of the population, they are certainly a large amount of the terror, the child sexual assault, and for that matter, murder. What's our next story? Transgender woman who fatally stabbed postal worker inside New York City deli is sentenced to 15 years.
However, you did take responsibility early. Okay, man, you want to say something before I pronounce things? Shaking your head, that's a no? No. All right, well, as the mother of the victim's child says, yes, this is yet another senseless killing, over a trivial misunderstanding. They come before me all too often. However, you did take responsibility early. And yes, proving someone's intent to kill is very difficult to do in these type of cases. So I understand the people's reasoning for making this offer. But it is still promised, and I'm going to honor that promise, a substantial sentence. So on your plea of guilty to manslaughter in the first degree, I sentence you as promised and as recommended by the district attorney to a determinate sentence of 15 years to be followed by 5 years of post-release supervision. The surcharge will be deferred. That is the sentence of the court.
Thank you, Judge.
Come up for a second.
That's not a woman. Crazy and my son by a terrorist like that, I would be upset and I wouldn't go with 15 years. I would be outraged. Maybe he will see real justice inside the jail cell. I'm guessing 15 years. What do you think he'll serve? Half that? 8.5, 9 years? Crazy. How about this? NBC News. Listen to what it says. LGBTQ people in the U.S. see lower social acceptance for transgender people than those who are lesbian, gay, or bisexual, according to a new Pew Research Center poll. Duh. What you see trans Tifa, we cover them all the time. We go to school board meetings. These people identify as trans are absolutely terrorizing our communities. And sure, there's some that are not. And don't get me wrong. I'm saying the vocal ones, the ones that stand beside the Democrat representatives, the ones that are at the protest, the ones we cover every day on here. I told you guys, this is not the LGB group that I grew up with. It was like, hey, how you doing, neighbor? Move on. Not, damn it, you shoved this flag down your child's throat or you're a bigot. No. And so no surprise that the Pew Research poll said that they see a lower social acceptance. People, again, we have that track meet tomorrow. We'll get into at the end of the show and over the weekend, where, again, they're erasing women. That's all they're doing. And when you do something like that, I'm not going to accept you either. It would be like saying murderers are car thieves, have a lower social acceptance rate than auto mechanics. It just cracks me up. It just cracks me up. But hey, on a good note, we got a couple good things. Montana Governor Greg Gianforte signed HB 819 into law, which bans pride flags from the classroom. Take a look at this. This was posted by Libs of TikTok. And again, HB 819 bans pride flags from classrooms. It's sad we even have to do that. Again, somebody promoting what they do, what's supposed to be in the privacy of their own home or their own bedroom, doesn't need to be in our education system. And I think that. Also, Texas Governor Greg Abbott to sign new law declaring that there are only two sexes. And just in case you guys didn't know that, two sexes. That's all there is, guys. You can't change them. And Trump even signed an executive order saying so. We said we would get rid of the insanity. For a governor even have to do this, or for a president even have to do this. We always say, let's make mental institutions great again. That's what we need to do. Check this out. Speaking of Maine, we've had some issues with Maine over the last couple months. We've talked about them not abiding by some of Trump's executive orders, especially with this boys and girls sports and this boys and girls locker room. You heard the governor sit there and say she was going to actively fight it. And, you know, Maine has some conservatives, but it is a pretty blue area. Maine House voted to reject an amendment which would ban non-citizens from voting. Almost every single Democrat voted for it. Listen.
It was just a couple years ago that the city of Portland had an open question on whether non-citizens should vote in their charter commission. So that's not a conspiracy theory. And if we all agree that non-citizens shouldn't vote in Maine, adding this to our Constitution shouldn't be an issue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It was just a couple years ago that the city of Portland had an open question on whether
if you are watching this and you are an illegal, run over to Maine, leave California, and get to Maine right away. But again, almost every single Democrat voted for it. They rejected the fact that they don't want illegals voting in their elections. Oh, Governor of Hawaii, Josh Green, has signed the first climate change tax in the U.S. into law. So if any of you guys are heading over to Hawaii anytime soon, you will be paying a green fee. That's the tax. That tax will target tourists on Hawaii Island, requiring them to contribute for their carbon footprint. I'm not lying. Cruise ship passengers will also be included, paying a prorated tax based on how many days their ship is docked at a Hawaiian port. This is set to effect in January. The law will impose a 0.75% tax on visitors staying in hotel rooms and short-term rentals. Now, Hawaii got some screwed up politics. We don't talk about Hawaii that often because it's just out there and it doesn't really affect us. I don't plan on going to Hawaii anytime soon. I went there a long time ago, had some fun, seen it. There's a lot of other places I'd rather go than Hawaii. Actually, I'd like to go back to Florida again. We were there 2 years ago in August. Ooh, man, I could stay in the beach all day. 6 people, including a USDA employee, busted in a $66 million, $66 million, folks, food stamp fraud scheme. It says Arlasa Davis, a USDA employee, and listen to what her responsibility was here, folks. Her responsibility was identifying SNAP fraud. You guys know what SNAP is. That's what we also call EBT. That's what we call food stamps, supplemental nutrition assistance program. It said she allegedly sold hundreds of EBT numbers, enabling over $36 million in fraudulent SNAP redemption at unauthorized stores. It said Michael Cahoe reportedly orchestrated a network that supplied approximately 160 unauthorized EBT terminals to stores across the New York area to illegally process more than 30 million in EBT. So this was a whole scam. Not only were they issuing these numbers out to people, they were actually giving certain stores that weren't EBT eligible the terminals across New York, and they illegally processed more than 30 million in EBT. This is one of the largest food stamp frauds in U.S. history. And this is a press release right here. It says Perry Carbone, attorney for the United States, acting under authority, blah, 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 special agent in charge. Says this is one of the largest food stamp frauds in U.S. history. The defendants, Michael Cahoe, Mohammed Nawafla, Omar Al-Washday, Gamal Obeid, all these people, like 4 of them, you could tell they probably weren't born here in the United States. Oh, he's racist. He said that. No. Well, my goodness, look at that right there. Program specialist at USDA. I look like a man. 38 years experience at the USDA. That is crazy. I hope that our taxpayer funded retirement for this person, that pension is gone now. What an absolute slap in the face to taxpayers. I mean, you know, many of us, we got to watch our pennies and go shopping, especially after Biden's inflation, you know, cutting out cost here, cutting out cost there. And here they have this fraud, and I'm glad it was caught. I want to see more of that. Speaking of a fraud, let's listen to Gavin Newsom really quick.
The largest. So it's been quite a few weeks since liberation. uncertainty that's been created not just in the United States, but around the globe as it relates to the unilateral decision by Donald Trump and the administration to oppose the largest and most regressive tax increase in modern American history, chilling consumer confidence, chilling business decision making and investment, impacting our ports, impacting our port workers, our trucking industry, impacting the reputation of the United States of America. California was proud to file the first lawsuit against the administration. 12 AGs followed suit. Small businessmen and women as well have led the charge and led to this moment, but no one is naive. This will ultimately end up in the United States Supreme Court, and that's why we remain supremely vigilant.
Supremely vigilant. Well, we went through how bad California is. Why aren't any of us in California suing the government for all the stuff they're doing? How about this? We're going to get into
Are we going to lose health care?
And what happened while we were at the press conference.
Finally, Governor, just a lot of people across the country are worried right now. They're nervous. They see this disastrous budget bill. Are we going to lose health care? Are we going to lose our SNAP benefit? What's going to happen to just what's your message as we go to the American people right now?
Well, that got a lot worse, didn't it? That bill that the House just signed, because it was predicated on getting tariff revenue, getting revenue from these tariffs. Now you can't even count on that, which only further reinforces where Elon Musk himself was just 24 hours ago and saying this blows a massive hole in the debt in the United States of America. It's one of the most fiscally irresponsible things that's happened in our lifetime. And so the U.S. Senate has a chance to fix that and correct for that. And I think today's announcement from these two courts, and I imagine there'll be further discussions with further court decisions that will be very favorable to at least the cause of sanity and rationality, will only put additional pressure on the Senate to right the ship and make dramatic amendments in this bill. But at the end of the day, there's no way they can balance a damn budget unless they do it on the back of working folks and poor folks and completely renege on their commitment to protect the most vulnerable.
Working folks and poor folks. Do you know those are the ones that struggle the most here in California? You know, our gas prices are over $5 a gallon, highest electricity costs in the United States, poorest roads, highest taxes, highest food costs. I mean, Gavin Newsom is one to talk, and he said the quiet part out loud. This puts a big hole in Trump's budget. His beautiful bill. That's what they wanted. Because some of these revenues were going to cover some of those savings for you and me, 15% for most of us as a taxpayer. But he wants to do this. I think he's got some things coming up. I just thought this was funny. This was posted by Cartel Cal. It says California is facing $8.43 a gallon gas, a 75% increase as refinery closed. And just go through his administration and what the Democrats said here. Of course, Gavin Newsom said it's time to hold big oil accountable to account. What that meant is pushed them out of the state. We're seeing that. We're going to be bringing in ships to our ports. We're going to be paying transportation fees. We're going to be doing all kinds of things right now because these companies are fleeing the state of California because of Democrat regulations. How about our Attorney General, Rob Bonta? This was on May 28, 2023, when we were warning you guys this would have a bad impact on the consumers here in California. And it says, we are standing up for everyday Californians. Our message to big oil is clear. Play by the rules or pay the price. Who's paying the price? Not Rob Bonta. Me. You, the other residents that got to get gas in their vehicles. You want to go on a vacation in California, it's going to cost you a lot more. You want to get to work? Well, I know you're struggling now because your fast food prices just increased like 27% because of the minimum wage hike that Gavin Newsom did for entry-level employees that are flipping hamburgers and rolling burritos, not to mention the 12,000 employees that lost their jobs because we're downsizing now and we're going more automated because if you got to pay that much money for minimum wage, but that's besides the point. Mike McGuire, greed has consequences in California. Gavin Newsom taking action and signaling critical legislation that ushers in some of the toughest measures in the country to hold big oil accountable for price gouging, along with implementing desperately needed transparency measures. Remember that when Gavin Newsom came out like a year and a half ago? And I don't know why gas prices are so high. We're going to make a committee and we're going to go ahead and we're going to investigate this because this is price gouging. Guess what it was? Even colleges did these committees to find out what was going on. You know what they found out? Only one thing. Well, it all boils back to one thing: Democrat policies, the rules and regulations. That's why you are paying so much. So when Gavin Newsom speaks about somebody who's actually did something good, if you go back to the tariffs of 2016, it did incredible wonders for the country. How about Speaker Robert Rivas? Democrat California Speaker Robert Rivas. Since my early days as a county supervisor, I've been fighting against big oil. Companies can't be allowed to rake in billions of dollars in oil profits while hard-working California pay record prices at the pump. My absolute priority is lowering the cost of living, and I appreciate the governor calling on a special session to rein in soaring gas prices. While I respect Pro Tem's position, the Assembly is united. We want the public to have a voice in this process, and that hasn't happened yet. We need to get this right. That was almost a year ago. That was August of 2024. We'll be there in 3 months. It'll be a 1-year anniversary. Think about that. Think about that. But Trump's killing us here in California. How about this one? California regulators yesterday admitted they don't analyze how states' clean air environmental policies, cutting use of oil and gas, will impact cost of drivers and people. These are the people that Gavin Newsom appoints. California Air Resources Board, the CARB. It says lawmakers exhausted with Governor Newsom admin and claims big oil take advantage of California. It looks like what's actually going on. We don't have this problem in other states. Go to Arizona, go to Texas, go to New Mexico. They don't have this problem. And once again, we are destroying our own state, making it impossible for lower income people. But he was talking about Trump's tariffs, right? And we told you, these judges that are making these rogue decisions and Democrats, they're not allies with you, the taxpayer. They're not allies with the United States. They're allies with China, with Canada, with Mexico. Everybody we put a tariff on, check this out. What do you think
and pharmaceuticals.
Canada said?
The government welcomes yesterday's decision by the U.S. Court of International Trade, which is consistent with Canada's long-standing position that the U.S. IEEPA tariffs were unlawful as well as unjustified. That said, we recognize that our trading relationship with the United States is still profoundly and adversely threatened and affected by similarly unjustified 232 tariffs against steel, aluminum, and the auto sector, as well as continuing threats of tariffs against other strategic sectors, including lumber, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals. It therefore remains the top priority of Canada's new government to establish a new economic and security relationship with the United States and to strengthen our collaboration with reliable trading partners and allies around the world. The government welcomes yesterday's decision by the U.S.
Happy that Trump's
Court of
stuff, you could tell, and we've covered Canada and all the things that have happened on since Trump's been elected. But guess what happened? The Trump tariff order stayed now, pending an appeal. So this will make it, as Gavin Newsom said, this will make it all the way to the Supreme Court. Now, there is precedent stated that other presidents have done tariffs. And again, it is the president's, especially when it's an economic and national security risk. It is it's the president's job to do these things. This is what we elected him to do. And I think we got a quick video. Listen to this.
President Trump's case is ironclad. We're very pleased with the ruling. We expected it. The bottom line is that our U.S. Trade Representative, Jamieson Greer, is the best trade thinker in the business, that President Trump's case is ironclad, and the appeals court took almost no time at all. In fact, we're surprised it took till the end of the day for them to overturn this previous ruling. The bottom line is that President Trump's trade team has their eyes on the horizon. They understand that we've got to make America great again by making trade deals fair, by advantaging U.S. producers and U.S. farmers when they sell things in foreign markets, and leveling the playing field at home for foreign products that are brought here. And so this is a big victory for the president. And I just got to say that you also can see, if you just look at the data, that President Trump's vision is working, that we've received $50 to $60 billion in tariff revenue since we've started the tariffs. Inflation has gone down. In fact, if you think about it, the automakers for foreign auto companies are running ads saying they're not going to increase prices. So it's working exactly the way we thought, and we're very pleased with the decision today.
So am I. That'll continue to go up. But again, we have these rogue judges, and we know that this isn't the last case against Trump that's going to have to be fought. Earlier today in our first show, we talked about Marco Rubio, Media Marco, and his statement that said they will be taking away visas from people that are here from China, and especially those that have a alliance or an involvement with the CCP. Common sense. You would hope, without even discussing it, they were already doing that. However, that wasn't going on. Listen to this. This is great. Listen to Tammy Bruce.
If everything's fine, terrific.
Statement yesterday aggressively revoked visas for Chinese students, including. It's not specific. He's not saying specifically those with connections. So, there are 277,000 Chinese students in the United States. Should all of them feel that they're at some risk of having their visas revoked?
I think everyone who's here on a visa has to recognize, certainly is what they've seen over the last few months, that America takes their visas seriously, that vetting is not a one-time process, it's continuing. And that if things happen, if you get arrested, if there's some kind of an issue, it's probably going to be seen at some point. But I do think that with this particular dynamic, it's clear that there's an interest in making sure that those who are here from China on a visa understand that we are taking our national security seriously, and we are looking at their visas. And if everything's fine, terrific. But that will be a vetting that certainly continues and is important, clearly, too.
Absolutely. Again, didn't even know I was voting for this. Didn't know this would be so close from Inauguration Day that we would be seeing this already. But absolutely support it. I love this. Listen to Peter Doocy. Peter Doocy at the press conference with our press secretary. I want you to listen, as this was epic.
If the courts are going to be the ones who are shaping policy, does the president wish he would have just become a judge instead?
I think the president would take this job over being.
If the courts are going to be the ones who are shaping policy, does the president wish he would have just become a judge instead?
Right? It seems like the judge have more power and more control over the executive branch than our own president does right now. Check this out. It's kind of craziness, clown world. Wisconsin Democrats have introduced a new woke bill titled Marriage and Family Equality Act. You've guessed it. I'm sure it's DEI. It says, which removes the word mother and replaces it with pregnant person. This is crazy. And here's that bill. You can see in pink it says expectant mother, and they line that out and put pregnant person all along this bill. I just don't get it. With so much going on in the world today, people just wanting good paying jobs, wanting their taxes lowered, wanting to have affordable housing, just everything you could think of. Want lower crime, want to feel safe in their communities. This is what Democrats are focused on. Again, taking expectant mother and replacing it with pregnant person. There's only one type of person that could get pregnant. That's a female, which will then make her a mother. She's a mother while that baby is inside her womb. Man. Check this out from Attorney General Pam Bondi. The American Bar Association has lost its way, and we do not believe it serves as a fair arbiter of judicial nominees. It says the Justice Department will no longer give the American Bar Association the access they've taken for granted. I love this. It says for several decades, the American Bar Association has received special treatment and enjoyed special access to judicial nominees. In some administrations, the ABA received notice of nominees before a nomination was announced to the public. Some administrations would even decide whether to nominate an individual based on the rating assigned by the ABA. Unfortunately, the ABA no longer function as a fair arbiter of nominees' qualification, and its ratings invariably and demonstrably favors nominees put forth by Democrat administration. The ABA's steadfast refusal to fix the bias in its ratings process, despite criticism from Congress, the administration, and the Academy, is disquieting. Accordingly, while the ABA is free to comment on judicial nominations along with other activist organizations, there is no justification for treating the ABA differently from such other activist organizations, and the Department of Justice will not do so. Specifically, the Office of Legal Policy will no longer direct nominees to provide waivers allowing the ABA access to non-public information, including bar records. Nominees will not respond to questionnaires prepared by the ABA and will not sit for interviews with the ABA. Another group that, once again, we've seen this, probably had its place at one time, but now it is just a left-wing rag. Check this out. This was another breaking. We're going to get into illegal alien stuff and some raids. Let me make sure this is in the right spot before we move on. Yes, it is. Nevada Department of Health and Human Service staffer caught on O'Keefe Media hidden camera admitting he breaks and bends the rules for illegals and gets some benefits. I thought this wasn't happening. Thought illegals get nothing. Why are tax dollars funding this, folks? Take a listen to this. It's a little long, but take a listen to this.
Stay in the country and get... So would that technically be subverting a law at all at that point?
I do the law. I will twist and turn our provisions to fit the way that I want them to. So whether it's a law or not, I don't know. Because I don't care actually.
Deshaun Eli Mack is a family services specialist at the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services. Now, his job is to help American families get support like health care, financial aid, and counseling. But he told our undercover journalist that he helps illegal immigrants stay in the country and get medical help, quote, all the time. While on what he thought was a date with our reporter, Deshaun said that he gets benefits for illegal immigrants from Cuba and Mexico. He says he gets them, quote, emergency medical all the time just because I want to, close quote.
So are you able to help undocumented people, like, with assistance to stay here and, like, get medical help and all that stuff?
We do it all the time. Unfortunately, after Trump got elected, we had a sharp decline in our Cuban clientele and our undocumented clientele that just weren't coming in.
Because they didn't want to get found out?
Correct. And a few times we and my coworkers have had to explain to them, we would never call us. We do not work with them ever. And I believe that is something we have on the books. We do not call immigration cover. Oh, fudge. I just approved of it. Oh, Cuban passport. Thank you. There you go. Even like undocumented people from like Mexico and things, I can still give them benefits. I give them emergency medical all the time, just because I want to.
Deshaun explained that illegal immigrants are supposed to apply for emergency medical care on a month-by-month basis, but he approves them for a full 12 months just because he can.
Even though it doesn't cover anything, still, like, it's emergency medical. And even emergency medical is a month-by-month basis, and it's supposed to be used for undocumented people if they've been hospitalized or something, so that they're not footing the bill. Medicaid can cover some of those expenses. But they're supposed to apply every month, so I just approved them for 12 months. Because I can.
When our undercover journalist asked Deshaun if this was allowed, he responded, quote, "I make it so." He admitted that he, quote, bends the rules a lot.
Oh, is that like allowed technically, or?
I make it.
Nice.
So, I've been the rules a lot because I don't know. If you come see me, I'm giving you benefits. I don't know. That's just how it is.
Like no matter who you are, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm just giving you benefits because that's what I want my tax money to do.
Oh.
So, to the extent that I'm able to, but I've been the rules a lot.
Interesting. I'm sure there's many ways to flout the system in every department, I'm sure.
Correct. It just takes certain people to do it.
When Deshaun was asked if the conduct was subverting the law, he responded, quote, "I do that a lot."
So would that technically be subverting a law at all at that point?
I do that a lot. I will twist and turn our provisions to fit the way that I want them to. So whether it's a law or not, I don't know. Because I don't care, actually.
Now, what are the laws that Deshaun is subverting? Misappropriation and falsification of accounts by a public officer. The statute prohibits public officers from knowingly keeping false accounts or making false entries related to public funds. Deshaun's approval of ineligible individuals for extended Medicaid coverage could be a violation, as well as the Nevada False Claims Act. This prohibits the submission of false claims for payment to the state of Nevada, like knowingly approving benefits for individuals who are not eligible. It appears in this video that Deshaun Mack is violating federal and state laws that our hidden cameras caught him saying. He was subverting, he was bending the rules, he was doing things he should not be doing. Mr. Mack, the family service specialist at the Nevada DHHS, could potentially face jail time for what O'Keefe Media caught him doing and these alleged violations.
Hello?
Hi, is this Deshaun?
Who's calling?
Hey, this is from O'Keefe Media Group. How you doing?
I don't know who this is.
You said, this is your quote, you're on a date with an undercover journalist. You said emergency medical is a month-to-month by basis, right? Then you said, well, Medicare can cover some of those expenses, but they're supposed to apply every month. Oh. You said, I quote, bend the rules a lot. I'm quoting you. These are your words. I'm just giving you benefits. That's where I want my tax money to go. So it seems like you're taking this position that you just don't really care.
No, I definitely care.
How do you care?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm asking you and I'm quoting you, Deshaun. Deshaun.
You are quoting me.
I am quoting you. And do you stand by your quotes?
Was I aware that I was being recorded?
It's a one-party consent state, sir.
Oh, that's nice. Now, how do you know I said anything that I stand by?
Because I have you on video and your lips are moving. That's why.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So,
in your O'Keefe Media Group?
Yes, sir. Do you stand by your comments, Deshaun?
I told you everything I said was false.
Do you stand by them, or are you denying everything you said? Were you lying to the journalist? Deshaun?
I say a lot of things that I don't mean. Absolutely, I lie all the time.
So it's so specific. It's so interesting that you're so specific, Deshaun.
Mm-hmm.
And why did you say this? Were you trying to impress a date, I'm assuming?
Absolutely.
It's a little bit
really,
weird.
I don't really care.
You don't care. You don't care that you're breaking provisions and bending the rules and twisting and turning provisions. Is that right?
Nope, I never said that.
Do you think that? What do you think the Department of Health and Human Services will think of your words?
I don't know. How do you know they're true?
Because you said them and you work for
Doesn't mean that they're
DHHS.
true.
Well, we gave them the quotes, so they'll find out and probably talk to you, I'm assuming, right?
I hope.
So let me ask you this. How long have you been just giving out emergency medical benefits for 12 months for illegal immigrants? Do you vet
Let me
these
explain
people?
something to you.
Go ahead, Deshaun.
What do you think we do? Do you think we vet them, yes or no?
You told me that it looks like you don't. You just give out, you said, quote, I just approve them. Oh, Cuban passport? Thank you. Here you go. Even undocumented people from Mexico and things. I can still get them benefits. So you're just giving out people or giving out health benefits to people per year when it's supposed to be month by month basis per the Nevada state law. Is that correct?
Is that the Nevada state law?
I'm asking you your comment
I don't know.
on those things. You said I bend the rules a lot. I twist and turn our provisions. You said I don't care. So I would just want to know if you actually stand by your words.
None of those words I said were true. So
Well, thank you very much, Deshaun. We're going to be publishing this, and we'll be publishing your video tomorrow. So we will send this to you,
alrighty.
and I will send it
definitely
to
have my
you.
lawyer reach out. Have a good day.
Thank you, Deshaun.
But fortunately, I have recordings and documents to back up everything I'm about to tell you.
We're about to, this is all the things that when the big beautiful bill, when they said they're going to be cutting off the health benefits of people, these are the people that are losing their health benefits, illegal aliens that don't pay in our system and have no right to them, as well as able-bodied adults. But this is when people were screaming that we were closing down USAID and all these other departments at our federal government. These are what the employees are like. 90% of them, this is what they do. They again, what a slap in the face to American taxpayers. I hope, I'm sure we're going to see more of that. That was great work. And we're going to move on now. Yesterday, we covered a story where Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell office doxed the names of ICE and DHS agents, then claimed it was a mistake. Listen to this here.
Wow. It looks like Mayor O'Connell was involved in some sort of obstruction or the harboring. It looks like Mayor O'Connell was involved in some sort of obstruction or the harboring of criminal illegal aliens in the great city of Nashville. But last night, his office put out the names of Homeland Security investigators and doxed our ICE enforcement officers. They claimed it was a mistake. There's zero chance it was a mistake, and there will be repercussions. Our ICE enforcement officers are already facing a 400% increase in assaults against them, and he's essentially handing over intelligence to these criminal gangs so that they can target our ICE enforcement officers. It's wrong, and it's beneath the city of Nashville, and I hope he will face consequences.
Again, this is just like the leaked passwords from Colorado's Secretary of State. These people don't do it on accident. These people know exactly what they're doing, and they're putting our federal agents in harm's way. She said a 400% increase in assaults. We're going to show you a video here in a little while of a protest, but this is just commonplace. But deportations are up. Deportations and arrest of illegals. Check this out. This is the state of Florida. ICE and the state of Florida brought a ton of firepower to round up hundreds of illegals at a job site in Tallahassee. Even brought buses to haul them off. This is epic. Take a look. Looks like ICE just opened up some more jobs for American workers that are looking for some work. That again was in Tallahassee job site. And then we got this right here. I believe this is the same location. It said a woman whose husband is detained in line in the construction site. This is the her husband's detained. These people have been given plenty of opportunity to self-deport. They've been warned. Stop. They've been warned. They've been given the opportunity to self-deport. They're even offered $1,000 for self-deporting. If you are in this country illegally, you are breaking the law. And because of Biden administration, there is now probably about 20 million that have came over just in the last 4 years. Listen to this. This was Thursday's raid in Tallahassee, perhaps the largest in North Florida yet. This is Leonardo Garcia, worked at the construction site in College Town and watched as federal and state police apprehended his uncle.
Came in here, barged in, police surrounded the whole. We're just doing our job like normal, 5 at 9, and just people just came in here, barged in, police surrounded the whole building, all the corners, and then they start barging in, telling people to show your paper, show your notification. Some people started to run away, and they just tackled them to the ground like nothing. We're just doing our job like.
Yeah, that's what happens. They got a rumble rant that said, "Figured I need a nickname. What up, Puto?" Oh my God, Hefe. Hefe's in the house. Thank you for the rumble rant. You're not the milkman, huh? I don't know. I've seen a lot of kids that look like
Normal,
you, and
5 at 5
I
and 9.
disagree. I think you've been the milkman for a long time, dropping off more than just milk at those houses. Thank you for the rumble rant. Or old Uncle Bill just gifted 1 subscription. And before we move on, just a reminder, guys, we got a couple things going on this weekend. We'll be at a protest tomorrow and on Saturday for the CIF State Track Championships here in Clovis, California. We're going to be live tomorrow. We'll probably do a morning live and then a live actually out at the protest. Tomorrow's probably not going to be that big of a protest, but Saturday we're going to have quite a few people there. So you want to tune in. And then 2 weeks from today, we will be in Washington, D.C. About this time, we will already have landed in Washington, D.C. We're going to be meeting Matt up there with First Amendment Media, and we're going to be covering the 250th birthday celebration of our U.S. military for the military parade that's going on down there. And again, we need your help. We are 100% viewer funded. If you want to help out with the gas, food, lodging, all the expenses for us to travel from California to DC, we would appreciate it. No donation is too small. And if you guys want to help out and donate to us, you could go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. Or as always, you can go over to our website. If you use online banking and want to do a Zelle transfer, you can transfer. We have our link to do that transfer on our website. Go to theoreoexpress.com. Click the donate now button on our homepage, and it'll give you those donation links. And I want to just say thank you. It means the world to us that you guys put us on the ground so we can provide you with live on-the-ground coverage while we're in D.C. Appreciate everybody that's helped out. Can't say thank you enough. And then old Uncle Bill gifted another membership, and that went to Sleuthy TV. Hello, Sleuthy TV. Give old Uncle Bill a great shout out there. And once again, we will be having some major lives this weekend and then be in D.C. in less than 2 weeks. So if you guys want to help out, we would appreciate it. Check out this. Dozens of people detained and removed in a large ICE operation in Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. ICE stated in a press release that the arrests include a member of the MS-13 gang and at least 1 child sex offender. In Nantucket, huh? Let's take a listen.
Of people detained and removed in a large ICE operation on Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. 25 News anchor Ray Vieta at the Live Alert desk. For the pictures, Ray, we just got into our newsroom.
Hey, Gene, good morning. So ICE confirmed the details to us this morning in the last hour. The feds say the operations on Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard ended with about 40 people being taken into custody. I want to show you now some of the pictures from the Nantucket Current right here. The Current reports federal agents started pulling people over mid-island yesterday in the morning. Here are pictures, again, provided from the Nantucket Current. The arrest took place on Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, and Hyannis yesterday. ICE stated in a press release that the arrests include a member of the MS-13 gang and at least one child sex offender.
I don't know how often I can say this in one stream, but I voted for
Dozens of people detained and removed in a...
Great news. Thankfully, we got all that taken care of. We are going to be rocking and rolling now with all these arrests and getting these gang members, these child predators off our streets that Democrats and Joe Biden allowed into our country. Check this out. We talk about the fake news and how these poor kids. Rep AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, ICE agents were waiting outside the immigration court to arrest Dylan, a Bronx high school student with no criminal record. This was an ambush. The Trump administration is undermining due process to meet their enforcement quotas. Bring Dylan home now. So they got a new one. Now what's this going to be, the high school student? Well, once again, let me give you the gist of it. Dylan Jose Lopez Contreras is an illegal alien from Venezuela who illegally entered the U.S. more than 1 year ago. Under the Biden administration, he was encountered at the border and released into the country on May 21st, released into the country. On May 21st, 2025, Contreras was arrested and placed in expedited removal proceedings. Most aliens who illegally entered the United States in the past 2 years are subject to expedited removals. Biden ignored the law and chose to release millions of illegal aliens, including violent criminals, into the country with a notice to appear before an immigration judge. ICE is now following the law and placing these illegal aliens on expedited removal, as they always should have been. If individuals have a valid, credible fear claim, they will continue in immigration proceedings. But if no valid claim is found, aliens will be subject to a swift deportation. He was 20 years old, folks, and in high school. He's months away from drinking legally. What are you doing in high school? How about this one? Congressman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. One of the old Clinton folks, man. She used to be out in the limelight all the time when 2016 was around. She kind of took a back seat for a while, but now she pulled up to the Chrome Detention Center in Florida to check on illegal aliens. And it says, this post is funny. It says, find someone who loves you as much as Democrats love foreign criminals. Take a listen to this.
Okay, go ahead. Hi, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz here. I'm just outside the Chrome Detention. I'm here to attempt to do a on-demand oversight visit, which is allowed by law, and make sure that I can inspect the conditions here at the Chrome Detention Center. 2 detainees have died this year alone, and I'm very concerned about not only the living conditions here, but the health care, and making sure that the folks here are taking good care of the detainees and following the law.
That's funny. Remember when we were in Atlanta and we were talking about the Fulton County Jail, where Trump had to turn himself in when we were down there, where you see the famous mugshot took place, and we talked about the conditions inside the jail? It's one of the harshest jails. Multiple people died. Do you think Debbie Wasserman Schultz ever went to that detention facility and said, you know what? I'm checking on American citizens who might be treated unfairly? Nope. Just illegal aliens. And this again goes to show you who Democrats are placing first on their priority and on their agenda. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. How about this? This is a protest that was going on a little while ago. Anti-ICE protesters are gathered in New York City outside of Federal Plaza ICE headquarters following multiple ICE arrests yesterday of migrants whose cases were dismissed during a check-in. Business.
Rather support a genocide of history in a time when our so-called...
You notice there's no American flags there?
Rather support a genocide than oppose it. Shame.
That's just funny. That's just funny. Now that these people used to say they couldn't find work, now there's plenty of positions opening up with the rest of the illegal aliens. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller confirmed the Trump administration is looking to set a goal of a minimum of 3,000 ICE arrests from ICE every day, and saying the number is going to keep getting bumped over time. I think I'll be happy when it's about 10,000 a day, and that's not easy to do. 3,000 a day is not easy to do. So we're gonna talk about that and go on with that. And then I seen this. Homeland Security said today DHS issued a comprehensive list of sanctuary jurisdictions that are deliberately obstructing the enforcement of federal immigration laws and endangering American citizens. We are exposing these sanctuary politicians who harbor criminal illegal aliens and defy federal law. POTUS and Secretary Noem will always put the safety of the American people first. Sanctuary politicians are on notice. Comply with federal law. And then it gave this link here. I have not went to the link. And it says, let's go to California. State self-identification as state. Let's see. Wow, Fresno's not in there. Alameda, Amador, but all these counties, sanctuary counties. Now, the reason why, the city of Fresno would consider themselves a sanctuary, but Fresno County does still have a majority conservative board on there. But look at all these cities. Now, here we go. There's Fresno, sanctuary cities, just like I said, not the county, but the city. Look at all these cities. Let's go to... Connecticut. Cities: East Haven, Hamden, Hartford, New Haven, New London, Wyndham. Louisiana. New Orleans, the parish. Just absolutely incredible what we have seen. And if you guys missed our last live stream, I'm going to encourage you to head back to our Rumble feed and or anywhere else. And we were at a press conference held by Mayor Pro Tem of my city, Diane Pierce. And what it was in regards to the CIF State Track Championship that's going on here in Clovis, California this weekend, where they are allowing a male to compete against females. This male has already taken away podium positions, entries into the state final track meet, and she rounded up a great group of folks out there. You had people from on coming out personally, not for the CUSD school board, but we had 2 CUSD school board members there. We had 2 Fresno County Board of Supervisors, my Board of Supervisor in my area, Gary Bredefield was there. A couple others standing up there and just showing their support. And I think this is pretty huge. We had a pretty good turnout of some patriots as well, standing against this erasing of women. That's what it boils down to. And so we have that. Let me see if there was any updates now that we are done with that part, and see if there's anything we missed. Got a lot of stuff to do. I got all kind of signs to make tonight. Got to go buy some supplies to make some signs tonight, because we want to, again, we're going to be out there. If you are going, to the protest tomorrow or Saturday. Make some homemade signs in support of female athletes, in support of girls' sports. We don't want to erase women. Check this out. Free Palestine protesters shout as Chuck Schumer book signing event is repeatedly disrupted in Manhattan, New York. They're eating their own, folks. Take a look at this.
You know, on the left today, we see real anti-Semitism. Real anti-Semitism. The Jewish deli has a rock thrown through it because it's...
Chuck Schumer! You care more about a fake anti-Semitism crisis than a real Holocaust to the Palestinian people! Come on. There's a real Holocaust happening in Gaza! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
SDLP, which was the heart.
We do not stand for genocide! You are a war criminal! You sent $14 billion to the occupation of Palestine! You have blood on your hands! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
No, let me make this point. I think it's an important point, and I make it in the book. To be anti-Zionist, to not believe in the state.
Hold on, let's see. And let's see if we have anything else. A white lady protest ICE arrest and said, I think it could be any of us next. Listen to this all white liberal.
Different, supporting
hilarious.
immigrants. Everyone in this country is entitled. I think it could be any of us next.
Martha's Vineyard resident Jane Catch held a sign yesterday at the Vineyard Haven terminal warning visitors.
The island has a history of supporting people who are different, supporting immigrants. Everyone in this country is entitled to due process, whether they have paperwork or they don't.
Well, we didn't get due process coming in. You're not going to get it going out, sweetheart. Let's see. Breaking. ICE confirms to Fox News they have arrested the teenage Colombian illegal alien who was given no jail time and probation after he hit and killed Caitlin Weaver in Aurora, Colorado, while driving 90 miles an hour and unlicensed. ICE also arrested the teen's entire family, who are also illegal. Stephen Miller tweeted out, the entire family will be deported. Amen. That's a find out moment. Oh, was Chris Murphy? No, I thought he was out there again. See if there's anything else popped off. Looks like that's it. So don't forget, guys, we have a couple things coming up this weekend. We will be live, pretty sure, in the morning. And then we will be heading out to the protest at Buchanan High School. That protest is posted and pinned up on my X profile at Oreo Express on X. And we will be leaving in less than 2 weeks, and we drastically need your help. Leaving in less than 2 weeks to Washington, D.C. I'm going to be meeting Matt, First Amendment Media, down there. And once again, we will be covering the military parade that the left is so triggered about, celebrating 250 years of our military on the National Mall in D.C., and we'll be covering some of the protests going around those days. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you guys do want to help, any amount helps, whether it's $5 or $50. We appreciate it. We're trying to get this put behind us so we can move forward. The first of the month's coming too, and we got a lot of bills to pay. So if you guys want to help us out, we would appreciate it. And we are grateful and thankful for everybody who has already donated. You can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army. givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And as always, you can go to our website, the Oreo Express, and there is a donate now button. It'll also have a link to a Zelle transfer if you do online banking, and that's the easiest way to do it. We have our Zelle link on there. I want to say thank you so much for everybody that's tuned in, and thanks some of you for being here for all 3 streams today. We do appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow. If anything breaks tonight, I will be around, so it could be live stream number 4. And thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out, and make sure you are subscribed.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
Well, hop aboard the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll.